Hey guys, Mac here. Welcome to the conclusion of my Splinter Cell Blacklist, Perfectionist, and No Kills walkthrough. Obviously, if this video has helped you in any way, I would appreciate that you leave a like, possibly even a comment, and subscribe to my channel. I am ranked 13th in the world in this mission, so you can bet that I have a pretty decent path here that I came up with. It took me literally like 2 hours to get the path that I have down, but once I had it down, it is very easy, very repeatable, and it shouldn't give you guys any problems. Now, this mission isn't too bad. It's on the longer end. There's like 3 hard sections and the rest is kind of like cutscenes and stuff. But just make your way through to this area using the right hand side. Make sure you mark the big armored guy on the outside. That'll help you in the future. Now, sneak into this room, onto this ledge, cover to cover into where the objective is. Make sure you cover to cover or they will see you. Press A to hack the ventilation system and then back out of this room. There is a laptop in this room. If you use a noisemaker or decide to take out the enemies, you can get it. I already had it, so it didn't show up, and you can always just reload the checkpoint after you get the laptop and it'll all be okay. Now, the reason I marked that heavily armored guy right there is because he kind of has this, he's the only real guard around here other than the snipers, so it's important to keep an eye on him. And I do this whole first like few sections of the game, of this map, all in one. I actually think I probably could have gotten top 5 in the world if I hadn't screwed up. I'd screw up like once and had to restart a checkpoint, and then I also take out a guard instead of leaving him undisturbed, which is unfortunate, but there's nothing I can do. Also, there is a high value target, which I'll show you exactly how to take out. He will not show up as a high value target on my screen, so that also lost me a few points. And all in all, on the leaderboard, I did this in what seems for it to say 25 minutes, including all my restarts. Anyways, walk outside all the way around the map, waiting for that big guard, drop down here, and now onto the big vent. Now, there are quite a few lasers. There's a pretty easy pattern. You'll recognize it yourself if you're doing it. But if you have troubles, just drop down to here. Then you're going to want to press B to drop down again. Shimmy over to the ladder. Climb down the ladder past that laser. Shimmy, watch out actually. You'll want to wait for that laser to pass under you. And so it'll be on the right hand side of that ladder. Sorry about that. Now shimmy down to this area right here, and make sure you climb up and chill right there. There is that vent, so watch out for that vent and don't stand right in front of it or you might get caught. Once the laser makes its pass, you can jump down and then shimmy over to the vent. Be very careful when you're shimmying because you shimmy a lot faster than the laser moves, so you might actually trip it. Now there will be a checkpoint coming up shortly, actually, not quite. Just drop down twice, shimmy around into that vent, and that's a checkpoint. Now, this one's a little bit more obscure, a little harder. You see me kind of forget what I'm doing. What you want to do is you want to wait for the laser under your feet to pass, then drop down, go around, and then on this pipe, you're going to press A to switch sides, then go to the left, and not that far. Stand up right there, and that should give you quite enough time to, I did it kind of fast, you can also wait for an extra pass. Now just descend down the ladder, wait for the lasers to align, and through the vent. Once you're through this vent, you will unlock another checkpoint, and this is probably, in my opinion at least, the second hardest part of this map. The last part is easily the hardest. Drop down into this area, and you can literally, what you should do is crouch behind there for a second until these two guys meet. And once they meet, they will, discuss something about the end world, blah, 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 and they'll go separate ways. Now, once the guy in the red goggles goes out, the guy in the room, once he can't see you anymore, sneak out and follow the guy with the red goggles. Follow him pretty closely. You should be a lot closer to him than I am. I took my time, and you can sometimes get spotted from across the hall, so you want to make sure you're quick. Into the vent on the right-hand side, through the vent, come out the other side, and I just like to come out and mark this enemy to show you guys exactly what I'm looking at. I'm doing that more for video purposes than for real actual purposes. He's going to come out in front of you. And there's a whole whack of people on your radar. The only one you have to worry about is really the one in front of you and the two guys outside the hallway. Once this guy moves away, the other guard will also turn his back and you should just start walking by. Now, stick on the right-hand side, outside the map, outside, and then go for this vent. Once you're inside the vent, 99% of the time, the guard you just walked past will notice something was up, but it will count as undisturbed, so it doesn't matter. Now, once you're at this part of the vent, you're going to have the guy in the red goggles. Don't worry about him. He doesn't really ever get in the way, but for safety purposes, mark that guy that just walked out. Once he passes in front of that big column in front of us, you're going to want to sneak out into the door, go through the right-hand side, and then come to this area, sit right here, and an enemy will come out of the elevator. As soon as that enemy comes out of the elevator, just park yourself right here and do not move for about a minute. There's obviously faster ways to do this with like sleeping gas and stuff. I'm doing it the stealth way with undisturbed everything. I do take out one person at the very, very end of the level, which is whatever. I'll show you guys exactly how to do it without making my mistake. But just sit here, and what you're going to have to do is there's two enemies on my radar right now. The enemy on the right-hand side, he will disappear. And once he disappears, and the other enemy that I've marked for you, once he's out of the way, you can start sneaking. So I only have one guy on my radar, the other guy left. That guy's around the corner. We're good to go. Through this area and through here, I screwed up because of the controls. Shimmy on around, up, up, and now we're on this catwalk. There's a variety of ways to do this catwalk area. I think what is the best way to do it, because we avoid the lasers and all that altogether, which is the hard part in terms of platforming. Jump up onto the catwalk, follow on to the right-hand side behind this gate, and you'll have a rappel area. Rappel down until you reach another catwalk. Now, once we're on the catwalk, go towards the objective, as you see me doing here. Drop down. There are a few lasers here. You don't have to worry about any of them if you take this path, though. Switch sides, hack the system, and now we're going to progress further down. Around. There you go. There you go. Switch sides. Get on the ladder. Once both of the lasers are not in the ladder, just slide down all the way, and you will have had a checkpoint right here. Hop over, shimmy onto the left, around, climb up onto this area, and then drop down into this area. Shimmy on over across to the dead drop. I'm gonna pick up the dead drop for you guys and show you exactly how to get that. If you were to follow this guide, the only thing I really miss is the laptop, but I'm right next to the laptop for you guys, and if you'll see it on your screen, there won't be any problems. Pick up that dead drop, shimmy across to this area, drop down, and park right here. I threw a sticky noisemaker just to be safe, but once that guy in the red goggles, he's really the only enemy you have to worry about. Once he's not looking like that, drop down and hide behind this post right here. Now, there are two heavily armored guards which can sometimes get you if they're turned the right way. What you want to do is right across from where my character is standing, there is a vent. You want to go for that vent. I threw a sticky noisemaker again just to make sure I got all the attention of the people that I wanted to, and I went through this little vent. Now, there is one heavily armored guard. I don't know if I mark him for you guys, to be honest. There he is. That wanders this area. Once he leaves the area, you're basically free to go. Just make sure you're watching your radar and there's no one facing the vent directly as you come out of it. Also, I make the mistake of trying to open this door and the red light goes off, but he didn't notice. So once he's gone, just go for this door. Once in this door, go left, climb up into the vent, and then drop down. Now, this is undoubtedly the hardest section, in my opinion, of the entire game. I do it. I have a really good path for you guys, and I do it flawlessly. I can do it like 9 out of 10 times if you follow exactly what I do. From the very beginning, go to the right-hand side, follow the room, into this room, through the grate. Is it a grate? I think it's called a grate. Just continue on through. We're going straight for C, then we go for B, then we go for A. B is probably the hardest, even though I leave it for, second. I recommend that you just do C first because you get out of the way really, really easily. Now back out to where we came from. There was one enemy in that room, but he won't be watching if you go straight for C. Stay in the shadows and then cut across back to where we came from, and then park yourself in front of this door right here. There is a little car with a red light on it. Once it passes in front of you, come out of the door and then run down the hall. I am actually pressing A and sprinting. Stay in the shadows so that the guy in the hallway doesn't see you. If you follow exactly what I did, you'll be fine. Park right here. Once these two enemies converge, they will converge when you go through the ventilation system. It's very, very scripted. Like, literally, the enemies will turn towards each other as soon as the vent is opened. So these two enemies, I think I marked them on and off for you guys to show you exactly where they are. They're in the middle of the room talking about the computer system. And I like to just sit right here and wait for a bit. They have a pattern that they follow every single time. Luckily, that's the only thing I like about this section. It is definitely the hardest section, but there's definitely a pattern that is followed every time, unlike some of the other areas. Once that enemy, he'll turn left after coming out of the office area, go cover to cover, and then cover to cover, and stick right here on the right-hand side. Now, the other enemy will also come out of the main office area, but he'll turn left. Now, as soon as he turns left, you see him walking right there. You're going to want to go here, go cover to cover. Do this part fast, but also make sure you're sneaking and not using full speed. Hack the computer, you'll be fine. No one will see you. And then back to where we came from through the vent system. You have to do this section fast, or else the one guy will see you and he'll get you every time. So be very careful with that timing and you'll make it no problem. Now this section we're going to go for A. There is one enemy in the B room that might be facing this hallway and another enemy in this hallway that hopefully won't be here. Basically what you want to do is when he's not looking, that enemy right there that I just went over, you're going to want to jump on this pipe. Now once he's not looking and the camera's not looking either to where I want to drop, it's obviously the camera's right under me, I'm going to drop down and then we're going to go for A. As soon as I'm in this door, turn right, stay close to the wall to stay in the shadows, through this door, and then down the stairs and through the vent. Now stay in the vent to get to this area. Now if you're doing this for the first time, I am not, you'll have a capture icon on the guy that is closest to you. I think I mark him, maybe not, that guy right there. Anyways, once he sits down and faces away from you, crawl out and go straight for the shadow. Hit the ventilation system at A. If you're feeling like you really just want to beat the game now, you can just head straight for the next objective. But I do capture this guy to show you guys exactly what to do. Take out a noisemaker. I have the bolt in my crossbow for noisemakers. And just shoot the ground and this guy will come out. I do take him out and I'm in the light, so I'm almost seen. But if he's a capture guy, you go behind him and then bag and tag him. Now make a sprint for that vent. Do not walk to it, sprint to it. As soon as we come out of the vent, go into this room. There is a vent in the floor. Take that vent. Now, this is the only mistake I make in this entire walkthrough. If you're me right now, you want to come out of the vent, turn right, and go for the door on the right hand side of where I am right now. Unfortunately, I didn't know this area too well and I was like shaking because of how well I was doing. I do take out this guard, but go right that door right there that I was next to, go through it, close it behind yourself, and you're done. There is another door that links to this door that I'm next to right now. Unfortunately, I screwed up, I panicked, and I had to take this guard out or else he would have seen me. Again, there's lots and lots of ways to sneak around this guard, but if you have to take him out like me, take him out and go through the door. There's two doors that lead to this area, keep that in mind. And you'll go to this area and press A at this button to lock it down. That is definitely the hardest checkpoint of the entire game. What I think is a very, very good method that starts a long series of cutscenes where you're asked to press X a few times, kill a few people, and stuff like that. So there it is, exercising my 5th freedom, killing that guy, and then eventually you'll lead to this part where you're being escorted outside of the Site F, and you'll be prompted to press X. So when you're prompted to do that, press X, and snipers will take out all of these guards as well. Now you're going to want to sprint forward to where Briggs and Sadiq are. Sadiq will shoot Briggs, and you're going to want to go to Briggs to see how he's doing. Right after that, you have your last little boss battle, which isn't too hard at all. It's actually really easy, in my opinion. Just go here, park right there, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to you're going to want to go cover to cover, and basically appear behind Sadiq. What's important to notice here is that the lights are kind of flashing. What you want to do is only go cover to cover or sneak when the lights are off. So the lights just turned off and I went here. The lights are on now, so I'm waiting, and he's looking around. The lights are off again, so I'm sneaking. Now, I wouldn't normally go for this cover, but for whatever reason it happened, and I don't know. And eventually you'll get to this right behind him. Sneak around behind him, and you're basically at the end of the game. There's just a few more cutscenes for you to watch. Sneak up behind him. You're going to have to use your right analog stick as well as RT to shoot him in the arm. Once you shoot him in the arm, he will run away. And this part of the story, in my opinion, didn't make any sense. Like, if you shot Sadiq in the arm and then he ran away, why are you walking? Like, now you're supposed to walk towards your paladin and Sadiq attacks you from behind. I don't really understand the story, what's happening right now, to be completely honest, but you'll see here as you're walking to the paladin, Sadiq attacks you from behind. You guys fight. Press X to grab his knife, and then after a little bit you'll be prompted to mash X. So just tap X repeatedly until you eventually do this. Pretty gruesome if you ask me. And that is basically the end of the game. You have a few short cinematics here that I'm going to try to skip for you. And that is the end of the game. I will show you guys all the achievements you'll unlock if you followed along on Perfectionist, made sure you got no kills and all that jazz. I'll show you all the achievements I get right here. I get 4 of them, and they are worth 240 points. They are probably the harder achievements in the game for sure, if you ask me. After that, I will show you my Ghost score mastery, and I'll show you my leaderboard position that I was pretty happy about. I might try to do the level again and try to get top 5, but who knows. So I'll show you the achievements really quick. We will get 150-point achievement for not getting any kills in the game. We'll get a 100-point achievement for beating it on Perfectionist. Automatically, we'll get realistic difficulty, and we'll get a 30-point achievement for completing the game. That's 4 achievements, and there it is. 20,530 points for me, over almost $500,000. Here's the leaderboard. That's me, 13th. Pretty cool. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you beat me, and I'll see you hopefully in another one of my videos. Comment, like, subscribe. Peace.